Navigating conflicts in friendship is a very important part of our growing up. And it's very important for us parents to know how we can support our sons when they begin to experience conflicts in the friendship. Now, conflict in itself is not a bad thing. I remember some time ago when somebody said, it's like you like conflicts. And I said, no, I don't like conflicts. I don't like leaving conflicts unresolved. So when I have or sense there's something wrong, I love to resolve it. I love to talk about it and resolve it. Before I carry on, my name is Bukola Jolibo. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time visiting, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today we're going to be talking about how we can help our sons navigate conflicts with their friends. Like I said earlier on, it's very important to be able to navigate friendship because we would always face it. It will always happen. Either conflict with our friends, with our family members, with our siblings, or even with us, the parents, because conflict is not a bad thing. And you experience conflict, you go through it, you conflict with issues, beliefs, and stuff. How do you navigate conflict yourself? How do you deal with conflict? You know why I'm asking that question? Because our children are watching us. So if they do not see you handle it, navigate it properly, it becomes a problem for them because you are the first thing they watch, you're the first lesson they go through in life. So I need you to think about how you navigate friendship. So it's good for you as a parent to begin to think about how I model healthy conflict resolution with my children, with my spouse, with my friends, and the people around me. Do you go cursing? Do you go throwing tantrums? And you expect that your children will not throw tantrums? That's a big fat lie. Because when they see you throw tantrums at every little thing, they will learn it and they will throw tantrum. So maybe I should say at this point that if your child has been throwing tantrum, particularly your grown children, not the 2-year old, and they get something happens and they storm away, maybe it's time to check yourself. If they see you shout, they see you storm at things, storm away, get angry, bring down, check yourself. Model healthy conflict resolution. Also, encourage open communication. When things go wrong, how do you communicate it? How do you talk about it? Do you even give the opportunity for them to talk about it? Encourage open communication when things go wrong between you and the child, right? By doing that, you're encouraging them to be able to have open communication with their friends when things go wrong, right? And I feel that's very important for us to be able to teach our sons how to have open, honest, and fair communications with the people in our lives. The fact that you're a man doesn't mean the people around you do not have opinion, or they can't talk about things, or they can't air their own views. It takes healthy and mature men to listen to the people around them. So as a parent, model that open communication with them. Have open communication with them and encourage them to have open communications when things go wrong. Also, teach them active listening, how they can listen and understand. Help them to understand that conflicts will happen, but it's fair on yourself and on the people around for you to be able to listen actively, attentively when things go wrong. Another thing to teach your son about handling conflict is to be able to empathize with others. Promote empathy in your home. Teach them empathy. Help them understand what empathy is. It doesn't have to be your way. It doesn't have to be your view all the time. It's a great skill for our sons to be able to practice empathy. Also, very importantly, off the back of empathy is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. Empathy, earlier on, I said it doesn't have to be the way you see it. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Help them to see it the way they see it and listen and understand, right? But emotional intelligence also means that it doesn't have to be your way all the time. One of the things I say a lot in my home is if it matters to one, it matters to all. If one gets angry about a particular thing, listen to why they're getting angry about that thing. And, acknowledge it. Acknowledging it doesn't necessarily mean you're accepting it. You're validating their feelings. Okay, you feel that way. I'm sorry if whatever I have done or said is made you feel that way, right? It doesn't mean you are the wrong person or you are the bad person. It only means you're emotionally intelligent. So teach your children and emphasize the importance of emotional intelligence to your children. Also, as a parent, encourage taking responsibility. So when it comes to resolving conflicts, with you as a parent, do you take responsibilities for your wrongdoing? Encourage your children, your sons, to take responsibilities. It's not a bad thing to be wrong, but it is a bad thing to not take responsibilities for what you have done wrong. So encourage your sons to take responsibilities. Teach them, let them know that, yeah, taking responsibilities for what you've done doesn't mean you remain in that thing that you've done wrong. It means you've acknowledged it and you're ready to make it right. So when they do the wrong thing, teach them, encourage them to take responsibilities and begin to talk about it on time. So a lot of these things I'm talking about is not when things go wrong, or you know. In fact, when things go wrong, it's not the time to talk about issues. It's a time to note it down and say, okay, there is a gap there. I need to talk about it. I need to teach this. A few days ago, something happened between myself and one of the boys. I was quite upset about it and I kept my cool. And one of the things we've established is when you're upset about something, just step aside, step outside of the thing and go and reflect on the thing. And he did that. Later on, I wanted to talk to him about it, but I think he wasn't ready. So I left him. And then later on, when we got talking about it, I aired my opinion. I said, this is how I feel. This is, I think he came to me because he wanted to listen to me. I was the one that was upset. He said something and I was really upset about it. And then we talked about it and he explained himself. And I said, oh, okay, I didn't see it from that perspective. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That's not what I meant. That's not what it is. And then he explained himself with Kezo and said, oh, mom, so from the perspective you've seen it, yes, it's got nothing to do with that at all. It's got nothing to do with XYZ. It's about this, it's about this, about that. That's because we've had an open communication. I have listened, we both listened to ourselves and we took responsibilities for what we've done. Also, when things go wrong, be there, support your children emotionally. When they're having issues with their friends, there's something my husband used to say that, do you even support me when I'm angry with somebody? And we are not of how will I support you? Mother, I'll tell you the truth. But it's not the time that we need to tell the truth. It's good to support the people, support the person in your life as well. So for your children, support them. Let them say that you support them. When they're in conflict or they're having issues with their friends, it's not the time to begin to judge them, right? It supports them, provide emotional support because it can be tough. Flash back to when you're a teenager and you had conflicts with your friends or your colleagues. How did that go? How do you feel about it now? Thinking about it. Imagine how you felt about it then. So provide emotional support, validate their feelings, and relate to their emotions. Be there for them. Just tell them it will be fine. Everything will be okay. Just reassure them, right? As you're teaching them, as you take note of what you need to teach them, or as you teach them about handling or resolving conflicts. Also, very importantly, teach them coping strategies. How should they cope when things go wrong? Now, let's talk about those that are going into relationship. When they have conflicts with their partners, their girlfriends, how will they cope? Teach your son coping strategies. Help them to develop healthy coping strategies for managing stress and emotions. We talked about emotional intelligence. They need to be able to manage stress and emotions. And then this may include taking a break, practicing mindfulness, engaging in activities that bring comfort. It's very important. And this I learned from one of my boys again. Engaging in activities that bring comfort. And those activities, my son would say, I heard it from him for the first time actually. They're your escape. So help them identify what their escapes are. For some, it could be playing football. For some, it could be playing basketball. For some, it could be reading. For some, it could be watching a movie. For some, it could be listening to music. For some, it could be going to the gym. What is your son's way of escape from, things, taking a break from things, stepping out of the thing, and then so that when they go into the escape, they go to that place of escape, they're able to relax and then reflect on the thing. Escape shouldn't be driving. Oh. I think it's one of my brothers said, oh, I love to drive when I'm angry. I bet don't drive. You're angry. So maybe for some it is, but me, I don't encourage it because you can get distracted. Or you can go to the gym. As I'm saying is I'm thinking, they drive to the gym. What am I deceiving? It's just God that saves us and keeps us. By providing guidance and modeling healthy communication, emphasizing empathy and problem solving skill. I didn't mention that, right? Problem solving skill is also very important. Parents, you can empower as a parent your son to manage conflicts the right way. Let me know if you have questions that you want us to deal with or discuss, and I will be back with you. Stay tuned. If this is your first time, remember to subscribe to this channel. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I'll see you again next time.